Paul Grassi always said he was part of the greatest generation. He enlisted into the Army Air Corps at age 18 and after receiving his wings was assigned to pilot a B-24 bomber. He flew 13 missions for the 446th Bomb Group in the 8th Air Force with his crew. Before he passed away, Paul talked about his connections with his crew.
I still love the guys that I was with. I mean, you get pretty close when you're putting your life on the line.
In 2020, Grassi was awarded the French Legion of Honor, the highest French civil and military award for helping to free France of Nazi occupation. Grassi helped form the National Museum of the Mighty 8th Air Force in Pooler, Georgia, where he was on the board of trustees. Scott Lair, president and CEO of the museum, described how important it was to have Grassi.
He was someone who lived the history, made the history, and then shared his firsthand account. So it doesn't get any better than that.
Lair recalls all the stories that Paul told him. He respected him greatly and remembers the type of man he was.
Honest, sincere, a throwback, the very personification of the greatest generation.
Despite all of his accomplishments, Grassi always thought about others. At 89 years old, Grassi published the book It's Character That Counts, where he highlights pillars of character. Each pillar is dedicated to a friend of his from the war. On top of writing a book, Grassi also recorded a CD, singing wartime favorites.
Don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
But his favorite, The White Cliffs of Dover.
There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see. We're home, guys.
Paul passed away at the age of 97 on April 11, 2021. Given Paul's military service to his country, he deserved nothing shy of an honorable ceremony. The final honor of Paul's life was being buried alongside other American heroes at Arlington National Cemetery, accompanied by a folded flag, the honorary 21-gun salute, and taps on the bugle. Paul was put in his final resting place. Reporting in Washington, D.C., I'm Claire Overton.
I'm Grace Parody, here at the head of the Charles Regatta, where 11,000 rowers are competing this weekend. The three-day competition is well underway, with high schoolers all the way to athletes in their 80s rowing. There are also hundreds of thousands of spectators around this weekend cheering on friends and family or just enjoying the fall weather. With many spectators here today, I talked to the father of a University of Washington rower.
It's awesome. It's beautiful weather. It's just fantastic. I love Boston. We've been here, like I said, about 10 times. I love Boston. It's a great town, great people. A little cranky at times, but I haven't had the horn beep at me yet, so I'm driving okay.
Reporting for WEBN-TV, I'm Grace Parody.
I'm Farron Cohn here at the head of the Charles Regatta, where many friends and family are cheering on competitors from the sidelines this weekend.
There are over 70 events happening this Friday, and currently we have 8 races competing as we speak. The race is 3.2 miles long and can range anywhere from 15 to 40 minutes for competitors to finish rowing. The race attracts a variety of competitors of all ages, having categories for seniors, students, and middle-aged rowers racing from all around the country.
With lots of spectators in the race, we talked to 2 spectators who are rowing tomorrow.
This is kind of like the pinnacle of the fall rowing and just kind of like something that everyone looks forward to while waiting for spring season. And it's the biggest rowing race in the world in terms of like amount of boats that are here. So it's definitely just very exciting as an experience.
The Charles Regatta is the largest 2-day race in the world, and we can only imagine with all this attraction that it will keep growing.
I'm Farron Cohn here at WEBN News from Boston.
The Head of the Charles consists of a 3-mile winding course through the middle of Cambridge. Since COVID, the event has added a third day of races on Friday, and just this year opened it up internationally again. Over 50,000 spectators and athletes have made their way this weekend to the Head of the Charles Regatta. Some are watching and competing for their first time, while others have made it a tradition.
It was great. It's such a good environment here, and it's just like such a great family of rowing here.
After participating in their first Charles Regatta, Shoshana Levy and Rowan Watson loved the new challenge.
As a coxswain, it just felt like such a technical, I had to work for this course, which is sometimes other courses, especially sprint, I don't have to do as much research, but I really enjoyed actually having to work to think ahead, to step ahead, and it really raised my skills, I think, as a coxswain.
Father-son duo Sam Ellett and Sam Ellett Jr. grew up watching and racing in the regatta.
6th for me.
Yeah, and this is my 5th, I think. Both of our children, Sammy and his sister, participated in crew in high school, and then she did in college as well. She raced here, and we just kind of got the fever, and I like the energy of the place, quite honestly.
Schools and clubs participating bring their energy from near and far.
Trailers from Florida, teams from wherever.
Dylan Logston used to row and now coaches at E.O. Smith High School in Connecticut.
I miss the buzz of a regatta, you know what I mean? Everyone getting ready, your stomach turning, the butterflies, you know.
See all of the results on the Head of the Charles website. For WEBN, I'm Claire Overton.
Reporting at the 2022 Head of the Charles Regatta in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where 11,000 rowers are making their way through the Charles, ranging from high schoolers to athletes in their 80s. This is the first time since the coronavirus pandemic hit that the competition has gone international. Dating back to 1965, this 55th Head of the Charles Regatta has brought thousands of rowers to the Charles River to compete. This year's event is expected to draw up to 300,000 spectators. After the coronavirus pandemic led to the cancellation of the 2020 edition and the 2021 regatta was held with restrictions, this year's event has no health protocols for spectators. We're about halfway done with day 3 of the Head of the Charles Regatta race. Everyone seems to be in high spirits as we await the results at the end of the day. Athletes from more than 800 schools will be rowing, and there are over 2,000 different boats competing in age groups ranging from racing clubs to high school boats to college teams. 3-time world champion Linda Murray is thrilled to be back.
I can't even count how many times I've been here, but I raced yesterday and today. It's really wonderful to be back. This is a homecoming for me now that I don't live here anymore.
The annual regatta draws the best crew teams from around the globe for an exciting spectacle.
There are some English teams here this year that are going really fast, and then for Syracuse, where I row, we have a lot of international athletes, so I think it's good to have the representation from internationally for them too.
It's been a successful day, and now we are expected to see results around the time of the last race. Reporting for WBN News, I'm Jay Albito.
And now please welcome your host for tonight, Dennis Leary.
Everybody's back, we're back.
After 3 years away, your favorite comedians return to TD Garden Saturday for Comics Come Home, the largest comedy fundraiser in the nation.
I'm always excited to see certain people like Lenny and Bobby and Jimmy, but Sam J I'm really excited about, Roy Wood, because it's the first time they've been with us. So.
Carolyn Plum, everybody.
It's the biggest thing I've ever done in comedy. You know, I'm from Boston, I live in Watertown, so it's exciting and overwhelming all at the same time.
Set to take the stage last year, Plummer's dreams were delayed after the pandemic caused cancellations.
It went from I had doubled up one night to nothing. So I was like, I'm going to make the best of every time I'm on stage, and I'm going to have fun because I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. Lenny, stop spooning him. It's a great show. Stacked. I mean, Jimmy Fallon is here.
I'm just psyched to be back here and to be asked back from Dennis. Dennis Leary is a legend and just awesome. And what you've been doing, this is 26 years and sold out show, by the way.
Fallon wants to make sure all the credit goes to Leary.
I mean, this is the guy. You know, he doesn't have to do this. He's just he thinks about other people all the time. He doesn't stop. It's not easy to do this.
Listen, he's way too nice.
This is not easy to organize.
It's way too nice of a guy.
And he's talented. He can sing. He's got a band. It's going to be electric tonight. It's always fun.
He's one of the busiest men in show business, if not the busiest, because when he's not doing his 5 days a week talk show, he's crazy busy. And I asked him to do this, and I said to him, I'm going to ask you because I'm to be a nice guy and be official, but you don't have to come. And he comes anyway. So.
Despite his New York roots, Fallon says he can make room in his heart for more than one city.
I love it. I love Boston so much. I had so much fun here, and yeah, I love coming back. And this is the reason I come back, to support Comics Come Home.
All of the proceeds from tonight's tickets, so all of these people in the stands, each one represents a ticket here. All the proceeds from their tickets will go directly to the Cam Neely Foundation, which supports cancer patients and their families. From TD Garden, I'm Jillian Kay, WEBN Boston.
On Thursday, February 2nd, Harvard University's Hasty Pudding Theatrical Company hosted their 56th Man of the Year presentation honoring entertainment icon Bob Odenkirk.
Oh my goodness, I'm thrilled and surprised, and I'm knocked out by what's happening today. I guess I just didn't know what to expect, but it's been a great day, fun meeting all these students, and crazy honor to be a part of the club.
Following tradition, the event opened up with a lighthearted roast.
It was so not brutal. I'm so aware of the thinningness of my hair.
Following was the presenting of the award and a press conference.
I have a book coming out in October with my daughter. It's poems that I wrote for the kid with my children when they were little. We wrote them together, so they would write a line, I would write a line. And then during COVID, my daughter's an artist and illustrator, and we just rewrote those poems because they were kind of nonsense and even a little insane. But there were some good ideas in there, and I rewrote them, and it's going to come out in October, so I really want to finish that well and make it as good as it can be.
Congratulations to the 56th Man of the Year. This has been Nia Harmon, WEBN, Boston.
Our 73rd Woman of the Year, Jennifer Coolidge.
Harvard's Hasty Pudding Theatricals welcoming the Emmy Award-winning actress.
I'm really having a blast. I got to meet all these young students that are so much smarter than me. And
Coolidge quickly capturing the hearts of her audience with her signature sense of humor.
Hello, world. It's me, Tuna McQuad.
While the students roasting her held nothing back.
If you had told me when I first joined the pudding that Jennifer Coolidge would be our Woman of the Year, I would have said, oh no, did Reese Witherspoon drop out?
But the Norwell native found ways to have her own fun, like judging impression contests.
Wow, you look like the 4th of July. Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Giving makeovers.
Jennifer, am I beautiful? Well.
And fighting off stingrays.
Oh my God, please, please. These rays, they're trying to murder me.
The night taking an emotional turn when Coolidge mentioned her father's time at Harvard.
So it's a big deal. And like I said, it really is like, this is amazing. You know.
Jennifer ended the evening by giving her pudding pot a big kiss and aspiring actors a message.
Doesn't matter where you are and if you can perform somewhere, it's sort of weird. There's always someone in the audience that sees you, and a lot of the time something really good comes out of it.
From Farkas Hall, Jillian Kay, WEBN Boston.
I especially like the lions. I think they're really cool.
Is everyone ready to celebrate the year of the water rabbit? Because I am. Boston's annual Lunar New Year parade returns with lots of music, delicious food, and the iconic lion dance.
I just happened to be at the bus station and stopped and saw this event going on in Chinatown. Never been here before, and it's beautiful.
It's really lovely. I really like the atmosphere. It's really welcoming.
Lunar New Year is a celebration of the arrival of spring and the beginning of a new year on the lunar solar calendar. Celebrations last up to 16 days, but only the first 7 days are considered a public holiday. Globally, around 2 billion people celebrate the Lunar New Year, and each year, this event attracts over 2,000 attendees to Boston. Amaya and Megan usually attend the Lunar New Year event in New York. They compare their experience here in Boston.
So it's different, but there's no like one better than the other. Yeah, I like that there's a bunch of different groups you can see and like different lions and different colors, so that's nice.
The lions walked around Chinatown from business to business, entertaining and attracting spectators from every corner, while accompanied by musical instruments. Catherine Kenyon feels the excitement in the air.
Oh, it's cool to be here for the energy. Like, you can feel the excitement everywhere.
Toddlers even joined in on the fun, putting smiles on people's faces. And spectators did everything they could to get the perfect angle for their videos. Today's event proved to be successful as Chinatown filled their streets with pure excitement and joy. Reporting for WEBN, from Chinatown in Boston, I'm Jay Albito.
There are some people I can't wait to see. Every year we meet at the T.
If you're a regular at Loma Santa Fe Golf Course in Solana Beach and you're looking to play a quick round on the second Saturday of July, forget it.
Now I got to find my ball. 40 golfers this year, 10 foursomes.
The quote-unquote family golf tournament is a time-honored tradition which started in 1954 and is now in its 68th year.
This golf course is a treasure for us. Every hole is a par 3. It's a short hole. So everybody can always have a chance to knock it on the green, even if you're not a very good golfer.
But what family, you ask? Everyone there will tell you just that. Family.
Each wing of the family has golfers here, so it's not just dominated by one or two families.
Bill Bruns, who is a family member, committee chair, handicapper, MC, a jack of all trades really, says there's a very special element to the tournament that makes it more than just another family reunion.
You don't hear people grumbling, you don't hear any gossip. It's that unity that comes together. In this day and age where everything's so fractured and everybody's so busy, to have this little treasure just survive, people look forward to it.
His 97-year-old mother, Charlotte, who was one of the tournament's original founders, agrees.
I kind of get a promise from people, we will not talk religion and politics. We know we don't agree on everything, but that's all right.
Even though the tournament is all about family coming together, it just wouldn't be the same without a little bit of friendly competition.
We have trophies for just about everything. We have a hole-in-one contest, which this year is worth $422. So.
And Bill's sister Pam is no stranger to competition.
Only because it's in our genes. We bring it on ourselves, let's put it that way. Not so much for the trophies, as to beat different people in our family.
After a long day on the course, non-golfers welcome back golfers by cheering them on at the 18th. Wow. Some crack under the pressure, and others thrive. Then everyone gathers around the pool, helps themselves to hamburgers and hot dogs, and finish out the day with an awards ceremony.
It's worth shooting a hole-in-one, you know. So, okay.
When months of planning and prepping have all been said and done, Bill, Charlotte, and Pam share the legacy they hope the family golf tournament leaves behind.
It's really interesting how enthusiastic people are about coming, and they make a big effort.
I think it's the longevity, but it's also the fact that even during these political difficulties, our family is still getting together, can still get along so well.
I think it's an example to other families maybe that gives them some, say, hey, that's a good idea, we should be doing something like that.
Although no one won this year's hole-in-one purse, everyone knows the real prize is each other. From the Green, Jillian Kay, WEBN Boston.
I'm currently at John F. Kennedy Museum and Library in Boston, where members of the community gather to hear Mr. President Joe Biden talk about his Moonshine Initiative. On September 12, 2022, Biden presented his initiative to reduce the cancer death rate by at least 50% throughout the next 25 years. We were able to interview members that attended the speech.
He actually made a point of saying that he hopes there will be partnerships between academics and biopharma.
It's heartwarming to see the president choose this one issue as one of his main priorities.
The University of Massachusetts Boston stands across from the museum. Many students waiting outside to either catch a glimpse of the president or express concerns of their own.
Coming from a campus over here, everyone's asking about the student loans, so we want to hear more about that.
I'm not super familiar with the initiative, but I do know that it's probably a lot more political virtue signaling.
Other community members are not only skeptical about the initiative, but about Biden's administration as a whole.
Well, I believe the 2020 election was stolen.
If there is anything that President Biden has accomplished, it is showing the decadence of the American political system in its finest glory and in its most bumbling idiocy.
All cancer is body rot. There's no curing.
Biden's speech comes after the 16th anniversary of former President John F. Kennedy's Man on the Moon speech. For Boston, I'm Karen Sui from WEBN News.
Golden retrievers galore. Furry friends from all over came for the Massachusetts Golden Retriever meetup, honoring the life of Boston Marathon dog Spencer and his sister Penny. Spencer died of canine cancer in February. The pups who registered online walked 1 mile, starting at the Boston Common and ending crossing the Boston Marathon finish line. On their meetup website, they also sold yellow bandanas with their logo and the words Golden Strong. $1 from each bandana sold will be donated to the Morris Animal Foundation to support research on canine cancer. Pauline Hegler, founder of Golden Retrievers for Independence, trains Goldens to be service dogs for people with disabilities and also therapy dogs, just like Spencer was.
We're also donating a puppy to the family, so hopefully a Goofy dog will be on the marathon going forward.
Due to an overwhelming support and sign-ups, registration for the walk had to be closed. Four-legged friends like Charlie, who were unable to sign up in time, were invited to the meetup in the Common right after the walk.
Golden Retrievers bring so much joy to everyone, and it's so fun to come together and honor a Golden Retriever that just made everybody so happy.
Spencer celebrated the runners of the Boston Marathon, and now Golden Retrievers like Chelsea are celebrating his life and legacy. Reporting for WEBN in Boston, I'm Claire Overton.
Right now I'm standing at the 2B alley at Emerson College, where students are protesting the 4% tuition increase.
Emerson is not a school, it's a business. If they're not listening to us as people, they see us as just income.
The cost of attendance at the institution has risen more than $25,000 in the last 10 years, despite last year's $25 million budget surplus. This leads students to ask, where does this money go?
I mean, when you look at this school, do you feel like you're getting 4% more in resources? Do you think you're getting 4% in better education? I mean, they won't meet with the teachers union at all to increase their pay. They hired one of the biggest union-busting law firms in the entire country. I mean, how much money could they have contributed to us?
The college's student union hosting this protest advocates for more financial aid that is proportionate to the tuition increase.
I was lucky enough to get decent financial aid from this college, but that doesn't mean that this tuition is over double my parents' annual household income.
David is an international student that relies on financial aid because he can't receive government grants.
With this hike, we are paying an extra $3,000 out of pocket for room and board and for tuition, and our financial aid is degrading every single year. We're a progressive school. We should have progressive policies.
They say that 1 in 5 students graduate at Emerson.
I can't pay. I can't go here. They raised my tuition. I'm out. so are a lot of other people.
The student union took this time to announce its new financial aid coalition with other organizations at the school.
The administration acknowledged that this is an actual student problem rather than, that radical student union who's always making demands. But this is a student problem of people getting priced out of this education.
They had a table with QR codes to sign a petition.
We can actually collectively put our fists up and it's not an individual problem. We actually have the power to join a student union, to create a union for ourselves, and to look at our problems as a collective struggle. When we do that, Emerson College won't like the optics, and eventually we're going to get that seat at the table.
Writing on walls and signing posters, the coalition hopes the administration hears the voices of marginalized students.
We want a seat at that table. We want student representation. We want to stop being exploited. We want to start being treated like human beings. And I don't think that's too much to ask.
What advice do they have for students to make a change?
I think that the more people that we have, the more momentum we can get. So I think that, if you just have time during your day, go to a meeting, join the petition, come to the rally. It'll be really helpful.
There's going to be another rally, this time at 2B, where the students are going to be walking to Anson. For WEBN News, I'm Hannah Rose Shemto.